your daughter called you and she was feeling anxious and the therapist wanted to put her on medication.
Yes.
What was your advice to her? Did she go on the medication?
Now, this is very important. I didn't say yes or no. I said, what's going on, honey? How's it happening? I know you. I've known you since you were a little one. You tend to get wired up. You have a tendency to anxiety. So do I. She said, Dad, you? I go, everyone. Crazy. I don't know, you know what I mean? And then I said, what is the medication? I don't want to mention the name. I go, it's not bad. It's the right dose. It's benign. I can give you some herbs. You want them? She said, yeah. And I sent them some calming herbs that didn't knock her out. It calmed her down. But I gave her the choice. So again, with everybody, it's like, thank you. With everybody, it's what's the story before you give the advice. People are way too quick to advise. Or I did it and it worked. Well, why, how, what's floating you up your boat? And are you, I gotta tell you this. So she's a brilliant kid and, go get her and all that. And she said, Dad, can you give me advice? I'm going to college. She's 40 now. How not to gain weight in college. I go, honey, eat well, exercise, get up early, go to bed early. She said, no chance, Dad. I said, all right. So, she's up till 1 or 2 in the morning and she's eating pizza at 11 p.m. What are you going to do? It's the culture, it's the lifestyle. But now that she's become more in touch with what she needs, she's pretty smart in making choices because it boils down to eating is a choice. What's your choice? She makes it. But good question. Others? Go ahead. My herbal colleague over here, would you announce who you are and what you do?
My name is Doreen Williams-James, and I do wild edible tours on the island and wild herbs and plants of Bermuda. I thank you for this presentation because it made me realize even more how powerful and important my position is in society. And one thing I realize, and one thing that I do teach on my tours is it's important to get back to the basics. Eating from the land. Your food is your medicine, and your medicine is your food. And so I just want to say thank you for this presentation.
Could you share a couple of local plants I might not know or our friends may not be in touch with?
Well, I always say on my tours it's important to eat in season because the plants come out for various reasons, for different ailments that come out. So right now the nasturtiums are out. And the nasturtiums is one of the most powerful antibiotics you can take. Natural antibiotics, I should say. So you can eat everything on the plant. From the seeds help to kill the parasites in your body. The flowers, the leaves, and they're beautiful. And one of the most important things is it's free. It's there for your taking. You just got to know what's available to you. And also the stinging nettles.
Yes.
It's one of the most powerful herbs on the universe. You just got to know what to take.
And wear gloves when you pick your nettles.
Sorry?
And wear gloves when you pick the stinging nettles.
Absolutely. And also, if you let it sting you, it's also medicine.
Yeah.
It stings you itself.
Right. Good one. Thank you. We have people in the back. You want to switch mics?
I think he wants to switch mics.
All right. Stinging nettles are remarkable. And there can be food. They're like spinach when you cook them. And they're so beautiful, green and chlorophyll. This is a true story. My wife swears when she takes stinging nettle, gray gets out of her hair. And she'll use it as a rinse, and she'll take it as a tea. And then like all of us, she'll stop for a while, and then the gray will come back. I go, gray came. No, I didn't say that. And the gray will come back, and then she'll nettle up, and it'll back off naturally. It's not a dye, it's a nutrient. And, all these things are acquired taste. Nasturtiums are an acquired taste. But once you understand bitter is better, your world improves.
I Well, thank you for your presentation. It really resonated with a lot of the things that I teach my clients. So thank you for that.
What's your area of teaching? What do you do?
I'm Dr. Kendra Pearman. I am the founder and executive director of Refresh Health and Wellness Center here in the beautiful part of Bermuda in St. George's. And I am a naturopathic doctor and have been working with many clients. Dr. Cheryl asked me to share one of my clients. I have so many that I could share, but I want to share the Sharo. Many of you may know Sharo Hollis, who sings. And she is one of my clients, and she had come to me with many, I won't give her health history, but many issues, and thinking that she was going to have to be on medication for the rest of her life. And when she came and she joined my 3-month program, when we knew that she had already moved into a place of healing and health because there were major changes that had happened in her life. But when she went back to her regular GP, had all her blood work done, he said, "Oh, you're cured, you're healed." We knew that prior to her getting the blood work done, but, you know, I subscribe to a plant-based diet. I don't eat anything from an animal that has a mother or eyes. So I strictly stay with the whole foods, but I do appreciate you emphasizing the whole foods and the fact that what we're eating, or many people are eating, is actually not food. And it starts with children, teaching them. I'll give you a real quick, my grandson was 5. I had some black bean burgers. He was like, "What is in this?" And I said, "Did you ask when you went to the restaurant, what's in that chicken nugget?" And then I went on, "What's in a chicken nugget?" And he has never asked me since which, what's in the food that I make. And I also want to encourage each one of you to think about food security. Start a garden. Start small with, yesterday I picked beautiful 8-inch zucchinis from my garden. And I don't have a big plot of land, but I have just used it wisely. And so I just want to encourage you, if you don't have a garden, start a garden. And I didn't know what I was doing, but it is yielding. I mean, just the other day I had a salad with kale, cucumber, tomatoes, carrots, and onions, and all from my own garden. So if you're not gardening, learn about it, do it, and you'll have food security. Thanks for letting me share.
Two quick points. Thanks, you.
Sure.
Again, it's like cooking. Some people garden or master gardeners, and some people are not. If you're not and you have time, find somebody who does and help them out, pull some weeds. And then after a while, you recognize it's fascinating. But it's hard to start on your own. We need accompaniment, we need mentoring, we need companionship, we need to just start as a volunteer, like a plant. And then this idea of when people do follow a 3-month program or 6-month program, not just I'll try it for a minute and give up on it, it has to become a little time to grow.
And one of my taglines is "Eat the rainbow."
Eat the rainbow.
And I do detox juicing, and I juice the rainbow.
Yeah,
I
of
have
course.
rainbow colors, and Cheryl will tell everyone, "Eat the rainbow."
Yeah, so the rainbow is all those pretty colors, but honestly, the question, particularly with children or people who are adult children, they're 50, 60 years old, but they're children when it comes to eating patterns, is why are you doing that? What's in it for you? Not did you know it's bad for you, but why are you doing it? And they go, because it tastes good, makes me happy. I go, yeah, but are you feeling good later? No, I feel terrible. So are you ready to try something a little new and a little different? And here's how it starts. But the judgment is a turnoff. So we can be too pure for other people to even want to see us. They'll run the other direction. But I want to invite Cheryl to take a point here.
Yeah, thanks. First of all, with regard to what you're saying, Dr. Kendra, it occurs to me how important, if we're going to start gardening, making our own food, cooking our own food, having, instead of fast food, having slow food, we really need either to have had a mother or a sister who taught us how to cook and gave us a love of cooking, or we need to have a community that kind of supports that and encourages that and just makes it fun. And I think that is really the secret sauce of communities of practice, is that it if you were not blessed to grow up in a cooking house, you can then have a community of people who kind of make it fun for you and create a social life around eating well and taking care of ourselves. And I think that's a point we're trying to make today for sure. The first one was about your power. Do you remember the mantra about self-care? Self-care is how we take our power back. Well, the other takeaway is that community is what is going to make this all the how of how to live well, to make it possible, because it's very hard to do as a single person, literally isolated, dealing with the onslaught of all the negativity that we have. So it's the community and it's the self-care piece. I'm aware that of the time, there will be time for questions. I'm not asking you to stop answering questions, but I'm going to be very selfish and ask you to please, for the next minute, pull out your cell phones. I know you have it. Don't pretend you don't have your cell phone. Pull out your cell phone. Someone doesn't have a cell phone? That's amazing. The cell phone has the capacity to take a picture of this QR code. So, excuse me, whoever's going out of the door, can you tell the young people to come in? There's some young people here who they're part of they're the Ashe Junior Youth Spiritual Empowerment Group. Ashe in the house. You can clap for them. I think one is a couple are missing, but they are here to help you if you don't know how to go to this QR code on your phone and go to the particular website that it will take you to. And there are just a few questions, very few questions. It literally takes 1 minute once you get there. So if you could just make the effort to do that and raise your hand if you would like a young person. There we go, Coley. It looks like Miss Simon's there in the hat. Yep. It's so important for us to get feedback and also to be able to identify if there's been any impact, because no one wants to do something that's not impactful and isn't meaningful for people. But we won't know that unless you give us a little bit of feedback. So if you could take the literal 1 minute to be honest on this feedback survey, I would be most grateful. And you can do that over the next few minutes. I just wanted to get this up because I'm aware people do have to leave. And I don't want you to leave without having at least pulled up the survey and filled in as many of the questions as you can. And once it's up, it's literally 1 minute. Because I want you to know that lest this gathering be just a gathering. I mean, it's great to learn something together, but I bet you, because I know almost all of you, and I know that you're all already on the health bandwagon, you're on the wellness bandwagon, you're striving either because you know it's important or because it's your line of work or because you need to be for your own well-being, but you're in the choir. So the important thing is to find someone who isn't in the choir, who's not really being successful with making choices that help them to be well, and bring them along, share this information, or partner with them in some way to encourage them. So if you will, in that survey, I believe it asks if you have identified a person. It's all anonymous and we won't know who's what, but the point is, do the exercise of identifying someone who you can bring along with you on this journey, so that it is not a one and done. Oh, yes, we learned a little something and we had a nice bit of soup and listened to some very fabulous, loud music. But it is a time when you can make a commitment to yourself to make one change and to bring someone else along with you. So this will stay up, this feedback and commitment. And I don't think I see anyone who needs assistance, anyone else. But if you do, just call one of these very talented young people over and they will assist you. So I invite any further questions. Please continue.
I've got a group activity. You ready for an activity? Anybody here familiar with the term mantra? What?
There was one more question.
I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
I'll get back at you. I will. You know what a mantra is? It's a phrase, just, simple phrase. If people go, well, what should I eat? I mean, what did Dr. B have to say? I got a little mantra that you can throw back out. So I'll say it, you say it back. Fruits and veggies,
Fruits and veggies,
nuts and seeds,
nuts and seeds,
herbs and spices.
herbs and spices.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Now, if you're a little, higher, you might say fruits and veggies, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Yeah, nice, blessed, good, great. But it's just so easy. Those are simple things that people are not getting enough of. And the spice of life is incredible. When people start to understand how garlic and ginger work, and how curry and coriander work, and how all these traditional cuisines are spice-based. And then the thing you have to watch is bad oil. Bad oil will really make you feel bad. So that is a question I ask when I'm eating food: is what kind of oil was this cooked in? And if it's, I just say, can you cook it in broth, or can you just not do no fry, no bad oil? What's your question now? You have a question? Did she leave? Go ahead. You got it.
Thank you so much for your presentation. It was quite enlightening. I would like to know your thoughts on supplements and peptides, because that's the new fad.
Is that peptides?
Peptides, yeah, the injections and supplements as well.
Well, clearly the soil is deficient. So the food is not what it was 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago, 80 years ago. And the soil is getting worse. That's a real problem. And very few people have the luxury of getting natural organic food grown in good soil. I've had some of that, which, is nice. So yes, people do benefit from supplemental nutrients. I go food first, herbs second, supplements third, and proteins, amino acid, peptides afterwards. Now again, peptides a whole separate category. But I don't do multivitamins. I never have. Most of the material is poor quality. You can't get enough of anything much in a vitamin that has 30 different ingredients. Okay? And most of the B vitamins, et cetera, and even vitamin C is purely synthetic. So nature is nature, plants are plants. Low potency, fresh sourcing is better than high potency synthetics. Now, there are situations where you have to hit it real high and real hard for a reason, and you have to build food foundation underneath it.
Any question?
I recommend magnesium to almost everyone for almost every problem. I think magnesium is a game changer. I don't think there's enough magnesium in any good diet, including my own, to fire up all the enzymatic and hormonal systems that could be fired up. So again, there's 3 or 4, but people say, do we really need this? I go, it's in the food. So I said this fatty 15 is a new fatty acid. It happens to be in whole milk dairy. If you're a vegetarian and you don't eat it, you might benefit from it. See, people don't want fish oil. They can eat algae. I mean, there are plant-based nutrients that could cover bases, and a little bit can go a long way. And then it's cost. I have a dear friend who's elderly, and he's really quite mentally disturbed, and he knows it. I go, get some bees, get some mags, get some, 3 or 4 things, and he goes to the drugstore and he buys the cheapest form, and then he eats it on an empty stomach, and it makes him worse. So again, there's some nuance, and it's better to work with someone to figure out what's your issue and what are the top 3 things to do for your issue, not 6 or 12. Most nutritionists hit the shotgun approach, and most of it goes right through. It doesn't process and metabolize well. So because I try to be more specific and targeted in my approach, I'll pick a couple of maybe a vitamin, a mineral, and an herb or something, and then let's see how that goes for 2 or 3 weeks and stuff like that. Throwing nutrients at problems is like throwing money at problems. It doesn't work. Even if you read it, and even if research says, you go, how'd that work? And they go, it didn't. I go, well, there's too many other disturbing factors. So it has to be, we have to think systemically. We don't. We think episodically. You know, oh my God, it's crisis time. Oh my God, I got this thing and I've got to deal with it. It's a system. We need to build our own system, and we need to build, you know, family and community systems. But, you know, good supplements are fine. I buy my products from a company called Natura Health Products. And they're in Ashland, Oregon. The guy who formulates, a friend of mine, top stuff. And it's top dollar. But it works. So that's the thing. Just like the food, if you buy more money, spend more money on food, you get more value. If you spend less, so it's tricky. Good question. And I don't know much about peptide therapy. I've seen it, but I don't have a take on it. Yeah.
You mentioned magnesium. You use the oil, the cream, or
Well, it's typically a capsule or a powder. The magnesium powder works well enough. Then you have to look at it, what sugar is in it with the powder. The reason things are, really, I love magnesium. I think all magnesium has some value because a mineral is a mineral is a mineral. That's an important statement there. So whether it's magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate, magnesium taurate, combo magnesiums, you know, combos are usually okay. Creams, it's good. And you absorb it transdermally, and it tends to alleviate certain amount of tension. Magnesium helps things relax. Magnesium sort of settles things down. It takes us back into the rest and relax nervous system. And then with anything, it'll work for a while, and then it won't work, and then you have to stop. Because most of these things, it's better intermittently than when somebody says, I've been taking this for a year or two, I go, give it a rest. You know, but I like magnesium, I like zinc. I mean, you know, they're just certain keynotes, and for men, zinc is more important. For women, magnesium's more important. But, and you can take it to bowel tolerance. So most people are a bit constipated. If they take enough magnesium, things start to move along. In the back.
I was going to just say that I think that the questions make me realize how much information there is to seed, to go through and to decide what to believe and what to do. And so it is so important to take all of this as educational content that you can then go back and read about and share with the person in your life, the provider that you have partnered with for your well-being, and get some clear idea of what you as an individual should do. Because I think we're in the era where we have to take full responsibility for what happens to our health. And we can't give that over to any one organization or one person. We have to really be like co-piloting this thing. And so it is so important to listen, to get information, go back and read, study with your friends, find reliable sources online. There's some really excellent, reliable sources online, but differentiating them from the ones that are proprietary and that are based on some individual's idea that is not based in science or anything close to science, that it can be very difficult. And that's why I think being in a community of people who are working together to study together and learn is so essential now. And we're not going to be able to necessarily trust everything that we can get access to on the internet.
So I'm going to make a closing statement. There's a lot of potential here, and it's all about how it coalesces. And what would be lovely if Bermuda Wellness Space also hosted a time for practitioners to meet and greet and get to know each other, because we have a lot of good practitioners. And once a month is enough. And when they get together, and each month somebody can give 15-minute talk on something interesting, you know? And these are people who are attracted to integrity, because integrity is the name of the game. Integrity is health. Integrity is strength. Integrity is truth. Integrity doesn't go out of style. Everything else comes and goes. And we all have a little piece of the pie. So self-taught is very difficult, and it's overwhelming. And the future of health medicine is the integration. It's not just integrated health practices, it's medicine and health together. I've done institutes of health and healing in hospitals and clinics, and that's pretty entertaining because it's a different paradigm. Now, we're all human beings, so you're talking about human health, and medical people have the same health problems as non-medical people because crazy working hours and conditions. But the future is these two are sister and brother. There's no opposition, there's no antagonism. I'm not replacing them, they're not replacing me. I trained so many nutritionists, I said, go to the doctor and say, I can add value to your practice and your patients. You're not a nutritionist, you're a doctor. And you have what you know works, but it takes hours and it takes group activity. Group activity is cost effective. So I'll leave us on that note. Thank you, guys. It's been a real pleasure.
So I hope you leave tonight at least feeling empowered and perhaps even having identified a specific commitment to yourself that you want to make, and maybe a partner. And I'm sorry, I just don't read hand signals.
No, she was
Not me. Oh, okay. All right. So you weren't actually talking to me. So I just want to thank you all for coming. And I do appreciate those who have gone to the website to give some feedback. That's what we need to grow, and any advice you can give. It is very important that you leave, though, realizing that it's on you. It's on us. And the comment that you made, Dr. B, about this community being very poised for success, I would agree with, because there are a lot of primary care doctors who are very into lifestyle medicine, making lifestyle the first mode of management of whatever is bothering you. So they don't go first to the medicine, they go first to figuring out what it is you need to be doing in your life differently. So but it is up to you to find that kind of collaborator for your health. And so I thank you for being here. We can get started on doing this kind of thing together, cultivating wellness together. And this was the first of 3 days. Tomorrow there will be further discussion, a very casual, informal get together at the Baha'i National Center on Brunswick Street. But the focus is not just about eating for health. It is about creating a spiritual community around yourself, and it is spiritual tools for managing in these tumultuous times, I think, is going to be the conversation. But you're invited to that. And then there was an all-day experience of integrative wellness that was on the website when you registered. I believe it's almost filled up, but if there's someone desperate, please let me know and I can see how you can get in. We're trying to keep the number at Grotto Bay for that event to 40, because it is experiential and we'll be needing to be in a small group. So special thanks to Dr. B and to Dr. Thadlin, who's here, who's going to stay with us because she's in Bermuda. And I really can't close the evening without acknowledging the small and very mighty group of friends and colleagues who really help us with Bermuda Wellness Space. And as I said, my daughters, and particularly my husband. I don't know if you know Anthony Ball, but if you know him, you know he's a gem of a human being. So I really thank him for all his help. And good luck to all of you making your commitment. Thanks for being here, and be well.
Yeah, Carol.